So I've got another amazing encore for you this week. This was a really popular episode, and I got so much great feedback on this interview. It helped so many that it is worthwhile listening to again. It's hard enough to live with a reactive dog, but when you're a first-time dog mom, oh my goodness. We are going to talk about that today. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Kathy Kowalik, and I believe that our dogs connect us to the heart and soul of what really matters in life. So hang out, and we'll take a deep dive into the human-dog connection and explore strategies that will inspire you to create legendary, enlightened partnership with your dog. This is the Enlightened By Dogs podcast. Hello, my friend. This is Kathy Kowalik, your host of Enlightened by Dogs, and we are doing a series spotlighting some of my amazing, brilliant partners, members who have, they've done the work. They've committed to their dogs, they've committed to a partnership lifestyle, and they've committed to learning and growing and becoming a better version of themselves continually, as we all do. And as a result of that, what has happened for some of these gals that we're going to be featuring last week and now in this week's episode and over the next coming weeks, these gals have absolutely transformed how they live with their dogs. They've adopted the partnership lifestyle and their dogs respond beautifully, as all dogs do. It's really, really awesome. So today we are going to talk to a first-time dog mom who found herself with a reactive dog that she just did not understand. And it was so hard, so hard. I mean, Paulina and her lovely dog, Badi, he was so stressed and so reactive. He was barking at other dogs, barking at things out the window in their city home, barking when they were out, barking when they were in, and lunging and barking at other dogs, like pulling her almost down sometimes. And of course, all of that caused Paulina to judge herself and compare herself and her dog with others. And, she got the looks, right? And it only created more overwhelm and more frustration for her. And now, after living the partnership lifestyle for a while, things are different. They're on their way to completely turning their life around. They still have a ways to go, of course. However, it is nothing like it used to be. And I wanted to share something that Paulina told us. Quoting Paulina, she says, BPA had a big impact on me understanding Badi's behaviors. Now, when I just look at him, I know what he wants to communicate. With listening, we built more trust in each other. I feel much more comfortable in situations that I would freak about in the past. I learned that giving him an opportunity to make a choice is beneficial for both of us. And it also taught him to be more responsible, which is good because I don't have to control everything. And that makes me more calm and happy. I'm so eager to share this interview that I did with Paulina. I think you're going to really love it. You're going to certainly be inspired. And Paulina is going to share some of the specifics about what she did, what she, used in their life, how she adapted the partnership lifestyle to suit their needs, living in the city and with a reactive dog. That's really hard, right? So she's going to share some of those things and tell us a little bit about her journey and where they are today. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Let's roll that interview now. Your perspective is going to be so helpful for so many because you're coming in as a first-time dog mom. And you like bit off more than you bargained for. And you were shocked and surprised and overwhelmed. And and things are turning around. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're from and introduce yourself and your dog, and then we can dive into some of your story.
Yeah, so I'm from Poland. I live in a city near to the capital city, like near Warsaw. So yeah, I live basically in a city where there is a lot of people because everyone who's working in Warsaw is living pretty much here. So there is a lot of people with other dogs walking nearby. There is a lot of other people living by. I live in a flat. So there is a lot of noises on a common staircase. So yay. This is my recent small struggle. Yes, so before adopting Badi, I never had dog experience at all. I was like a cat person. You can define me like as a cat person who now is a dog person because of my dog. Yeah. He gave me so many lessons. It was really, like adopting a puppy, like a small 3 or 4 months puppy who is coming from, I didn't know where exactly. So it was really hard for me when I saw what puppy does. To be honest, it was extremely shocking. And additionally to the normal puppy stuff at home, especially left at home, alone, there came also the reactivity to other dogs, leash pulling, reactivity to strangers, as he didn't accept people in my house at all. I believe because I took him from a temporary house. And I think he was moved there every week in another house. So I think it was really stressful for him changing houses so often. So he, for the first month when I adopted, he didn't accept my mom at all. He was barking like a crazy at her, but she just ignored her. And now he's 100% in love with her. He loves her so much. He sometimes even forgets that I'm there when she's there. So so that's beginning of my story, shock with adopting puppy. And I have a cat additionally, an older cat. My cat was, I think, 2 or 3 years because the cat is also adopted, so I don't know the age. So it was a shock for my cat too, but he took it better, I believe, than I do. Yeah, I was so frustrated when it turns out that he's so reactive to other dogs. I was usually avoiding other people anyway, but I thought that, puppy is I had this imagination, the puppy is the one that loves everyone, everybody, every dog. He wants to meet with everyone. He's super happy and everything. And then the reality came. So it's not always like that. So I pretty much probably can congratulate to myself that he was more reactive to other dogs than at the beginning, because I was reading all those books about dogs and trainings. I never went to a training with him, to be honest, because I'm, I believe, too lazy for that. So I was reading that dogs need to meet other dogs, and I was, forcing him to meet other dogs, bigger dogs, smaller dogs. Yeah, he has few friends. He has, yeah. So, but those were dogs he met when he was puppy, and those dogs in most occasions, those dogs also were puppies. So with adult dogs, it was really hard for him, and it was really frustrating for me. because we couldn't even pass next to a dog in a 100 meters. It was like too hard for him to even be that close to another dog.
He was that's far.
Yeah, it is far.
Yeah.
And he was like, when he spotted a dog, like, even a small dot of a dog, he was like already alerted, started to barking. And when the dog got close, it was like lunging, barking. Once he even like almost, I fell down. It was like really hard because he's like 20-kilo dog, so he has the power to pull.
Yeah,
he's a really strong dog.
So you started working with a behaviorist, right? That you asked for help, and
I asked for help with a behaviorist. The lady came and she said that first, before we go outside, we need to deal with his behavior in house. Basically, when she first time came, he didn't even let her in. So she was standing next to the front door, and I needed to drag him away so she can even enter my house.
Wow!
So that was really crazy. He was like, he literally freaked. At that day, he totally freaked. He lost everything. He was so disconnected from everything else. I was shocked. I believe he was shocked. It was so terrifying for him that when I think about that now, I wouldn't let this situation even to happen, because now I have a workaround how to let people in when I want them to let them in, which is like super simple because I just need to go downstairs and go to my house with them. So he just need to greet them outside on, like more, not at his space.
Right.
But
I love that. That's an example of just shifting our perspective, thinking about how to support our dog. How can we keep him safe, calm, and happy? So I love that. So I think you came to one of the free workshops
1 year ago in March.
1 year ago, and I think you just resonated with like the heart connection and the respect, and that's what you dreamed of having with your dog, and so you jumped in. So tell us, I don't know, like where you're still in the middle of a journey, right? And tell us some of the things that are better now. So obviously one thing is better, that you know how to help him with people coming over. What else is better? Like how is life for you now? And then we'll talk about what were some of the things that helped.
Yeah. Okay. So now it's like, because when I like thought about this interview, then I started even to talk with my husband about that, how much has changed for us. And it's like, wow, amazing. Because we now literally we can go on a walk. It's not like he's not pulling on a leash, but the leash pulling is much more reduced. And we actually didn't work on that yet. We are just starting to work on that. In case of other dogs, it's like, whoa, like seriously. Even today, we went on a walk and there was like several big dogs that we were seeing. We are not going close to other dogs, which we know that they are not our friends. So he didn't even notice. He just looked at those dogs and said, okay, let's go. Yeah, it's like amazing. And even though those there was like one bigger dog, and this dog started to bark at mine like in a second when this dog saw my body, and my body just looked at it and I could see in his mind like saying, "What? Why are you barking?" Yeah, it was like amazing, and it's much easier to when there are situations that we need to pass closer to a strange dog. It's much more easier to just do it. So that's like a more visible thing. It's like the window barking. It's like there is only one dog that he still barks on. It's like the bear-sized black dog. But anything else, he can like hang on the window like for a half a day and there is no reaction. Or sometimes like some slight, but literally nothing. We had some period when he was actually really like half a year ago. It was, I think, when he started to get really anxious about the noises on the staircase, mostly because my neighbors has 2 small children, like a really small, like I think 2 years.
So they're noisy.
Yeah, they are noisy. Because when I remember there was a challenge to make boundaries in the BPA, so we have the boundary now that he's not going first through the door outside, so he waits at the door in house and outside of the flat. He waits at the door. So there was one situation when those little child was just, I didn't know that they are there. They were weirdly silent, and the child, like, I opened my door and the child, just ran across my door. And my buddy just stood there and he didn't react. He just stood there waiting at the door for being released to go. And I was like, whoa, I was so amazed that he didn't even thought about barking at that child, even thought about rushing at that child. And he was just waiting for being released to go out. And I was then so grateful that we actually practiced that.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I could imagine what might happen if they were crashed to each other. Right. So I'm like, yeah, I think like he's much more responsible on walks. On a long leash, he's like, he rocks. He also rocks off leash when, because I put him off leash when there are friend dogs, so he can play with the friendly dogs. And he literally, he really rocks because he is actually the only dog that during the whole play, he's coming to me, check what's up. He's like the only dog who still remembers that I'm there.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's speechless when I think about what we had. Like, we couldn't even go nearby other dog. When I was going to park with him, it was so hard sometimes, and I was still putting him in that situation because I just didn't understand from where this parking is going, like from where this is coming. I just didn't understand that. I felt like it's weird. I was like trying to explain to him, this dog never did anything to you. What are you barking at it? Yeah, so now I understand it so much better. I learned how to listen to him, and I can see on a big smile on his face that he totally understands that I'm listening. And he's showing this, like, his happiness in so expressive way. Like, literally, when he doesn't want to go somewhere on a walk, because in most cases, I don't care where we are going, so he can go whenever he wants. So when I see that he don't want to go somewhere, so I'm just asking, okay, so do you want to go there? And he's like, no, the whole like big smile on his face, and he jumps from a happiness, and it's like, whoa. Yeah, and
thanks for asking.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. And at home, it's like I feel like now we have relationship. We never had a relationship before. He actually enjoys spending time with us on the couch, just laying on the couch, watching TV. Maybe he's not watching, but he's really enjoying that time because he can be between us. We are snuggling, we are having good time. And he actually comes to us for more. He comes to us for scratch. He comes to us even like today. I noticed that actually on walks, when we are on a long line, he actually just comes to hang out next to us.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is like, for me, it's amazing. And I can because I have this goal that for this year that I want to see him happy. I want him to be happy when we are going on the walks, because there was a time when he was his eyes were so sad and his tail was so low when we were going to go outside. Probably because I was slightly frustrated with leash pulling and other stuff. I had this in my mind that, I don't like those walks. It's like we have to because we live in a flat. Now I just shifted my perspective and I basically convinced myself that, okay, I really like those walks because they are beneficial for me. They are beneficial for him. We can spend time together. I'm moving, he's moving. And I'm since joining BPA, I'm learning how to actually be there with him. When I catch myself that I'm going somewhere else with my thoughts, I'm like, no, we are here and now. Don't worry about other stuff. You are here and now, and enjoy this time. So yeah, and I'm now I'm looking for a ideas. I'm looking for like those moments where we can actually connect on the short leash, because it's like, maybe it's a weird thing, but we are extremely connected on a long line or when he's loose, but we have some difficulties when he's on a short leash, which is for most of the time because we live in a city and we are not going for a long leash walks much.
Right.
But what helped us, I think, it's a hide and seek game. It's like, it's amazing what this game does.
It is, isn't it?
yeah, it is, because now it's like I see that he's walking there because I have 20 meters line. I see him walking like those almost 18 meters in front of me, and then I'm starting to be, I'm gonna to hide, and he's like in a second, whoop, looking at me, and I knew you want to hide.
I saw that thought bubble come out of your head.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's reading my mind. It's crazy.
Right. And it's a great example of how attuned our dogs are to us all the time, even when we don't know, right? That's a great example. Wow. So just a complete turnaround. And so what would you say, like looking back over the past year, like what would you say some of the partnership principles that you've implemented had the most impact for you? Like if you could pick out a couple things that like, this really helped me understand, or this helped me to turn things around. Can you pick out a couple things maybe?
Yeah. So basically the first thing that helped me, it was what you, Katie, said on the workshop in March, just to say to your dog that he's perfect. And actually I did it at the Thursday after first day of the workshop. And I think maybe this is weird, but I think from the very first moment when I said this to him, I said, okay, Badi, you are perfect as you are. And I think in that moment, something changed. It's changed for me. And I believe it's changed for him. So that was our first breakthrough, when I really said, okay, I get you as you are. I may still be a little bit frustrated with your behavior, but behavior is communication. And now I at the beginning, it was hard for me to understand that, but now it's much easier every time when we have those moments, like sometimes when he barks at something, I say, okay, I understand. This is the situation that we shouldn't be again. I will do my best to not put us in that situation again. So I'm following the safe, calm, and happy protocol. I also role model for him that this is not concern of ours. I actually explain to him why this is not our concern. I give him a job. It's like I have the best example when I had a domophone, or ring bell reactive dog, and now when he hears it, he wags his tail and waits for delivery. Actually, he waits. He's so happy. He's the happiest dog I ever seen waiting for a package delivery. Because
and you did that through role modeling.
Yeah, I did that for role modeling, and I did it. But I started to explain to him when I was expecting a delivery. I was explaining to him, okay, today we will have a delivery. So be patient, and the domophone will ring, the bell to the door will ring, because the guy will come and deliver us a package. And the another thing, what I just did, I started to give him all the packages. So I just, taking from the guy, giving to the dog. And recently, the delivery guy actually laughed when he saw when I'm giving the package right away to my dog. But he actually loved that. He's waiting for that package that then he can take to his place and unpack if it's possible. And so
I love that. Yeah. Paulina, you are a rock star. I mean, there is no doubt about. I mean, just when it's almost mind-boggling that someone, a first-time dog mom, and how you've just immersed yourself in it, and have really embraced, some of these principles, and look at how it's changed your life, and now you have this a companion that you wanted to have, right?
It's true. It's like, it took me a while to like fully understand what this is. I'm like still not totally know everything, but I'm learning with every quality call. Actually, I'm like learning with this monthly challenge. Those monthly challenges, I don't have a thing like I do much, but they are helping me a lot, because I know that there are the fields that I need to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how it's working, even not when you are working actually on that element, and it's still giving you a result. It's amazing.
The sideways approach, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's because I'm like, thanks to all of this, I understand, like, because of the calls like we have, and the master classes, like other people posts and other people's questions, everything is like helping me to understand. I can relate to some of those topics, and I can see that. And then through some calls, I have those aha moments, like, oh, so this is what this is about. Yeah, it's now I know, and now I see that Badi he really likes that I'm trying, because it's, if you don't really start being into that, it won't work. Because at the beginning I thought, okay, foundation formula, okay, it's cool. But then I started to, just committing myself to that more and more. And when I started to commit myself, it's like with even the foundation formula. At the first time I thought, how people like, everyone says like, oh, with every time we look to this, we see something else. And I was like, yeah, right.
Like, what else is there to see? It seems pretty.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I heard everything, yeah, but no. Yeah, it's like every time when I do foundation formula, I find something else for myself, because I'm on different stage with Badi. Like, yeah,
I love that. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, it's true. So it's helping me like a lot. But the safe, calm, and happy protocol, it's like the most important, because now even when we are on the walks with Badi, and sometimes I think like, I don't feel really safe going somewhere when he wants to go. And I'm like saying, Badi, I don't feel really safe about going there. Can we go somewhere else? And he's like, it's like he's understanding that. And he's saying, okay, we can go somewhere else. It's like, even for me, it's better. Like, it's even better to understand myself. Yeah, it's
so you're noticing that you don't feel safe, where in the past you wouldn't have even noticed that. It's an important
exactly
thing, right?
I would probably ignore that, because now I know where there are some, like, for example, I know that there is a dog that will bark, and I know that Badi will be waiting to bark at that dog, so I'm just not going there. Why? What's the point?
Exactly, right? Because like the main thing is to keep the main thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So so we are just focusing on that, and like my goal is just to make him happy, and I believe that safe and calm will come along, because I really want to see this big smile on his face, as he was so not understood for such a long time, because it was 4 years when he was there struggling and trying to communicate, and I just wasn't ready to hear it. But now actually I am, and I see that he's grateful for that, and I'm grateful for all the lessons that he's giving me, because when I'm sometimes role modeling for him, there are times that he's role modeling for me, especially in some situations. Coming back to grazing, I think he's like a rock star in that recently, because even if he bark at dog, it's like it takes him like literally seconds to forget about that dog. And I'm like sometimes living in that moment for 5-10 minutes, and then I'm looking at my dog and, oh, he forgot about that 10 minutes ago, so why am I still there?
I love that. And our dogs are such great teachers if we just pay attention, right?
Exactly. It's like, yeah, so he's really amazing. I'm like so grateful for all the lessons that he's giving me, even though the beginning was like super hard. Because it's like first dog, reactive dog. It's like, whoa.
It was a lot.
Well, how amazing is that? Paulina is so inspiring, and the changes that she has made in her life with her beautiful dog are just heartwarming and so inspirational. I hope that you really enjoy that and that you made note of some things that you can try in your life with your dog. Now, if you would love some support with adapting your life to a partnership lifestyle, if you would like some help changing your, let's just say, not working so well dog training methods and convert them into living as partners, if you'd love some support with that, some coaching support, and I would love to have you. And in the meantime, just imagine what life will be like when you and your dog finally understand one another. That's it for today. I am eager to connect with you again next week. Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for listening. And hey, if you would like to work with me so that I can help you discover the missing pieces you need so that you and your dog can finally be happy and enjoy life together, then head on over to dancingheartsdogacademy.com and request your invitation to join us in the Brilliant Partners Academy when the doors open for the next enrollment. See you next time, and remember, a brilliant partnership with your dog makes your whole life brilliant.